Linux versus Windows. There are multiple operating systems in this world, but majority, like almost 90%, is owned by either Linux or Windows only. And in that, like when it comes to individual user based, it is having Windows only. Like most of us are using Windows or maybe iOS, like Apple laptops or something like that, right? But why Linux came up? Because Linux is used in enterprise level. It is used in enterprise level. What is the enterprise level and why Linux only using in enterprise level? In each and every organization, any kind of company, banks, ATMs, like software companies, any kind of companies, like who are going to give their services to the customers, clients, or whatever it is, they must and shouldly, like 99%, they host their services in any kind of server. Server is nothing like our computer. Maybe that specific computer is having higher amount of configuration, like thousands of GB of storage, hundreds of GB of RAM, like that, and the highest processors also there. But when it comes to the operating system, okay, we you can able to see me my class, you can able to attend my class, you can able to listen me, you can able to watch my screen. It is because of we are using Windows operating system. Okay, because of that, you can able to use your browser, you can able to connect it to Zoom or Google Meet or whatever it is. So when it comes to the organizations, the organizations are going to take care about their like they want to secure the entire infrastructure. When it comes to the servers, databases or whatever it is, they can also use Windows. But why they especially using the Linux operating system? Because there is a thing, Windows is a user friendly, Linux is not a user friendly. And also Windows having multiple vulnerabilities, Linux is not having that much. And also Linux is far more faster than Windows or any other operating system. Let's assume we have downloaded a like a Kali Linux or something, or maybe VMware previously, like 4.GB or maybe a zip file from the browser, in a Chrome browser or Firefox browser. You just go there and go to that Get Kali and you downloaded it. How much take time it should take for the for downloading 4 GB or 5 GB, even if you have a 100 Mbps internet? Maybe 5
Maybe
minutes
5 minutes.
or 10 minutes, right? Maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or maybe more than that. If you don't have enough internet speed, it should take a half an hour also or 1 hour also. But when it comes to Linux, you can able to install that within a minute or maybe in seconds also. Okay, within a minute or maybe within a few seconds also, we can get that packages. Okay, packages is nothing but whatever you want to download, we called it as package in Linux. If you want to download a tool or a service or something, it should be considered or called as a package in Linux. Okay, simply Linux is faster than Windows, Linux is secure than Windows. Okay, Linux is stronger than Windows or any other operating system too. And also when it comes to the enterprise level, like why the company is exactly using, not only for all those, Linux is mostly unbreachable. For suppose if you want to hack any server or maybe hack any others computers, like if they are using Windows or iOS, the chances are too high. That means if I'd like to send you something, if I'd like to send you a malicious phishing email or something, you just go to your email and open it. If it looks like a similar to your colleague or friend, or maybe it related to your organization also, you simply click it. It will automatically download and trigger. That means it is automatically download and configure itself. Okay, the malicious script which is beneath that URL, it will automatically download and configure itself. But when it comes to the Linux, it won't work like that. Okay, I'm not saying each and every, or maybe every malicious script can't run in Linux. Maybe. I'm not saying, that's why I told you previously 100% security is a lie. But comparing with Windows or iOS or maybe Linux, Linux is more stronger than all other operating systems. Okay, there are bunch of things are there. When it comes to the Windows, all the configurations files are stored in a C drive only, right? It is stored in a C drive only. But Linux have a separate file system hierarchy. Okay, Linux have separate file system hierarchy that defines what exactly need to store where and what exactly need to execute where. Okay, it is a complete different kind of file system the Linux is having. Okay, so both Windows, Linux having GUI, graphical user interface, along command line interface. But when it comes to the Windows or iOS, we mostly use a GUI because it is a user friendly. But when it comes to the Linux, we use a CLI, command line interface. Okay, the reason it is, whatever you are going to execute in command mode, whatever you are going to work in command mode, it won't be impacted by any hacker or any other process or any other person. Okay, compared to the GUI. And also the phishing kind of things, the smishing, maybe messaging kind of things, or any other kind of attacks cannot be impacted the command line interfaces most of the time. And also it is very easy. For suppose if I'd like to download a file which is having a 10 GB, or else if you want to configure the Java in Windows, I think some developers are also here, right? How much time it should take in Windows to download and configure the Java?
Maybe 5 minutes, within 5 minutes.
In Windows.
Yeah, we just download the JDK and we'll
JDK file.
configure it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to the Linux, it will be happen within a minute or maybe in few seconds. And how about Python or any other things? What we are going to do is, in the command line interface, we are just going to, there is a package managers are named. I told you, right? Whatever you are going to download or install, whatever it is inside the Linux, we consider it as a package. So there are package managers are there. So with the help of package managers, once we run a specific command like install Java, something like that, it is going to get the Java. Okay, inside the Linux, there is a biggest file system is there, hierarchy file system is there. Inside that file system also, there are package managers manager related files, some kind of architecture also there. It is already stored some amount of data which is related to throughout the world. If something you couldn't get it, let's assume there is a new version came up, it is not already updated in a that um, package managers file system, you can able to get it from the internet also. That is also with the help of a command. Even that is also too easy, it will be going to fetch it from the internet within a seconds or maybe within a minutes. The comparison between other operating system with Linux is, it is too fast and too secure. Okay. So we mostly know about this file system of Windows. Like everything is in a, like everything is stored in here only. Like this Win. Windows like a C drive only, whether it is a configuration file, programming file, like softwares or whatever it is going to store it here. Okay, but when it comes to the Linux, that is having a different file system hierarchy. Okay, let me.
Hmm.
Okay, this is fine. I think we can. Yeah. You can see my screen. So in Linux, you can see the slash. It is considered as a root. Okay. Usually we know folders and files. Okay. We know folders and files. Folder is nothing but we can able to insert anything inside that folder. Like if you have 100 files or 1,000 files also, we can store it inside a folder. So in Linux, we call the folders as directories. Okay. It is nothing but a name is modifying. That's it. There is no big difference over there. It is a directory. Folder is called as a directory. Files are common. Okay. So you can see the slash. In Linux, slash defines root directory. Then who is root again? Root is nothing but in Windows, what we actually do, we log in as an admin because we need each and every privilege. That is nothing but we want to install, we want to download, we want to execute, we want to remove, we want to create, whatever it is. Okay, for that we need admin level access. That's why we log in as a admin. Once we configure the operating system, once we purchase the laptop, once we configure the operating system, we give our credentials, we log in as a admin. If you couldn't log in as admin, it will ask every time for the permission, even Windows also. Okay, so in Linux, root is nothing but admin. The first thing is folder is called as a directory, and the second thing is root is nothing but admin. Okay, in when it comes to the Linux, we don't call admin, we call just root, or maybe we call root privileges. Okay, admin privileges is equal to root privileges. So it defines root. The slash is defines root. Whatever it is coming and going through the entire Linux operating system is going to happen with the help of all these subdirectories. These are the important directories. This is the actual file hierarchy system of the Linux operating system. Okay, the main one is a slash home. Okay, this is user home directories. That is nothing but already root is having a root directory. What is related to root, it will be stored here. If you want to create any user, okay, if you want to create any user, for suppose I'll give you an example here. This is Windows, this is Linux operating system. Okay, so I'm already using my laptop. Okay, I'm already using my laptop. At this point of time, user 1 or user A is already here. User A can able to do multiple tasks here. Okay, that is nothing but I can able to draw, I can able to watch videos, I can able to take your class, I can able to listen the songs, I can able to write the program, I can able to do multiple things at a time, I can able to open multiple tabs at a time. But if user B wants to, okay, if user B also there, like you or anyone, maybe you guys are sitting behind me, or maybe you sit there and you want to access my laptop. It won't happen. Okay, it won't happen because Windows is a single user multitasking operating system. Windows can't allow you multiple users to access at a time. The benefit of Linux is it can be like a multi user. That means user A, user B, user C, user Z also. Till user Z, maybe till user 100, user 100,000. N number of users can able to access the same laptop. Again, they can do multiple tasks at a time. Okay. Simply, Windows is a multi-user, sorry, in single-user multitasking operating system. Linux is multi-user multitasking system. It is nothing but we all are working in same organization. We all are a team. So when it comes to me, I have to update some security policies inside the Linux file. Like in this specific Linux server, I have to modify one file. Daniel also want to modify some other files, or maybe Chandrakala want to add some other uh, code configuration to this Linux. Bhathireddy wants to connect this server to check the statistics of the CPU percentage and all. Pawan also wants to add some infrastructure code or maybe security code to the existing code. So we all can able to access this Linux operating system server at a time. We can able to do the multitask. Okay, even I can able to do two or three tasks at a time. You can able to do two or three or maybe more tasks at a time. Okay, that will be happen because Linux is that much feasible. Okay, Windows can't allow you to do that. Okay, so we already know this is called as a directories, nothing but folders. So home is represents, let's assume it is a multi-user multitasking thing. So if you want to use or if you want to access my Linux server or maybe in the company's or organization Linux server, you need a credential, right? Like without username password, how can you log into a server or maybe a computer? So you need a credential. For that, you have to create your user account or nothing but user credential you are just going to create. So those things will be stored. The user related info is going to store in a slash home, user home directories, which is related to a user is will be stored in a slash home. And every application, sorry, in every operating system, when it going to execute in a mobile or laptop or any other device like a infotainment system of car also, whatever it is, it need to run and execute some kind of things behind. You can able to play the songs in your car, that is nothing but something processing behind. Am I right? For that, there are some kind of media related. Okay, slash media is nothing but a slash media directory having removable media or some kind of stuff. At a time, slash lib means shared libraries, that is nothing but some kind of files need some other kind of files also to execute a process. Okay, to execute a process, it is just you can consider like a human structure. Okay, without heart you can't live, without brain you can't live, without liver you can't live, without kidney you can't live. So every individual organ have an individual purpose. The same way every individual directory have an individual purpose. And when it comes to the slash etc is nothing but we can consider it as our C drive in Windows. Every configuration details, like if you want to check about any required maybe any installed pre-configured configuration details, or if you want to install Java, those configuration details by default store here. If you want to configure Python, if you want to configure .NET, if you want to configure the burp suite or maybe any other thing, the configuration data should be stored in a slash etc. And dev is having the device files which is need to be run. Okay, if the divide wants to be run, that needs some kind of files, whether it is a programming files, executable files, or whatever it is, or supporting files should be stored in dev. And when it comes to the boot, static files of the bootloader. Okay, it is nothing but a booting system. The operating system itself, let me show you.
So by default in Windows, any file or a folder, if we download, it goes to download folder. Is there any specific directory in the Linux similar to that?
What is the mother directory, mother folder of downloads?
No, I don't know. Is
C
that in
drive
C
only.
drive?
C
C
C
drive
drive,
drive.
only.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Whatever it is, the mother is C drive.
yeah.
Yeah. You can see
So,
this is my Windows, right? Windows C.
yeah,
This is the one. I'm going to the users. This is my user. You can see the downloads here. See the path above. This is my PC,
yeah.
Windows, users, Sairam, downloads.
Similarly, in Linux also within
No, it's
the
not like that. Linux is a different file hierarchy. It's not like that. If configuration files only stored in etc, it's not going to store it in home. It's not going to store it in MNT or media or lib. So whatever it is needed, the every individual task is divided into individual directory structure in Linux. Okay.
so application related software will be stored in OPT folder.
No. It is add-on application software packages. I told you previously, whatever you want to download, install, configure, it is considered as a package. So package related details, it is told add-on. OPT is nothing but optional. Okay, not the exact configuration data. There are each and every application file or maybe a tool or service have multiple kind of files and folders to work properly, right? So those kind of details like actual configuration data should be stored in etc. The supporting files, the supporting data should be stored in optional formats. Okay. Not exactly the configuration data. It is software package or something like that you can have. Okay. It's nothing but how can I say? I have to show you only. Okay. Let's go to the next topic. There will go that I'll explain in any some other class about this one. Okay. So we stuck at a boot rate /boot static folder of the bootloader or something. So how exactly happen once you click on power button of the Linux server or a Linux operating based computer or a laptop? Okay, there are few things are there. Those are BIOS, MBR, grub, kernel, init, run level. Okay, this is the basic structure of a Linux operating system. Where it comes to, I'll elaborate more and more and more. Let me give you. This is just a second. This is the hardware. That means your laptops. Okay, on top, if you are going to, sorry, you are going to install Kali Linux and you need to use it. Sorry, I'll tell you. So this is a hardware. Okay, this is a hardware that nothing but laptop. On top of hardware, you are going to install the Linux operating system. That is nothing but the kernel. Okay, Linux operating system have a kernel. You can see the second layer or maybe on top of hardware, the first layer is kernel. On top of kernel, shell layer is there. Okay, on top of kernel, shell layer is there. On top of shell, user layer is there. Okay, let me open my Linux one. I'll tell you clearly. Don't confuse. We'll go step by step. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Oh, forgot to close this one. Have low disk space, I think. It is taking, yeah. Okay, let me open my terminal. So if I do ls here, okay, ls is nothing but listing. Okay, ls is nothing but listing, and pwd stands for where exactly you are. You can see I'm inside slash home directory. Inside that slash home directory, slash kali directory is also there. Okay, slash defines a directory. Okay, slash defines a directory. So inside the home there is a kali, because I told you whenever you are going to create a user. So while we are configuring the Kali Linux in laptops in inside the VMware also, while you are configuring it, it is asking your what is username, what is the password like. So I gave the username and password like a Kali. So the username itself going to created inside the home directory only. Okay. So this is the directories and something. So whenever I'm going to typing or searching or running any kind of command, ls is a command, pwd is a command, or maybe cat is a command, or whatever it is. Any command you can give, it is going to execute in the kernel. Okay, I'll show you here. This is the structure on top of hardware I've installed. You can consider, instead of installing it on VMware, maybe you installed it on your laptop like Windows. So on laptop hardware, you installed your Linux operating system. You simply configured it. Once you go to your user like this, okay, user level like this, you go there and give some kind of commands. Okay, I gave ls or something like that. Once I type anything inside the terminal, or maybe in a GUI interface also, you can see. Let me show you. This is a graphical user interface like Windows. If you want to go to the browser, like you can click here, it will go to the browser. Okay. So whatever you are doing here, it is going to run in a shell level first. So it is going to the shell. Shell is going to talk to the kernel. Kernel is going to talk to the hardware. Okay. It is a exact functional system inside the Kali Linux. Sorry, any Linux operating system, not only Kali. It is nothing but there is a shell is there. Okay, under below the user. Okay, shell level also we can able to access. That means maybe you guys heard about shell scripts, bash scripts, those kind of names previously. Okay, usually this Linux operating. Oh, what's happened to this? Okay, I've used it. browser. Okay, sorry, my bad. So this terminal is known or called as bash. Okay, it is called as bash. Okay, bash shell, I'm writing here only, bash shell or Bourne shell. It is called as a bash shell or Bourne shell. When it comes to your laptop is also having a command prompt like a CLI interface. This is called as a PowerShell. Okay, this is called as a PowerShell. Okay, you got my point. Windows also having the command line interface. That command line interface is called as a PowerShell. And when it comes to the Linux also having the command line interface. Majority we using the command line. This command line interface majorly known as with the two names. Either we can call it as a bash shell or maybe bash also fine, or Bourne shell. So mostly we call it as a bash only. If we say bash, it is nothing but the command line interface of the Linux operating system. So whatever you do in terminal or maybe in a GUI interface, it is going to the shell level. Okay, behind there is a shell level is there. Behind or maybe beneath of the shell level, kernel is there. Kernel is the exact operating system. How this entire Linux operating system designed. The kernel is going to talk to the hardware. It is nothing but talking with the hardware is nothing but how much amount of RAM, how much amount of processor, how much amount of storage it is needed to execute a process. Okay, it is nothing but executing a process. So if I want to create a file, I want to give like this. You can see file 1 is created. Don't worry, I'll explain each and every command. I'm just giving you the brief about the operating system only. So while I'm creating a file, okay, I'm giving the command or something, the system is going to process in 2 to 3 levels. Like first in a user level, it is going to take it, it is going to check in shell level, shell is going to tell it to the kernel is going to talk to the computer's hardware, it is going to verify that is having the actual capacity to create or delete or maybe modify whether it is a file, folder or any software. It's nothing but while you're downloading something in your Windows laptop or maybe in your Windows PC, if you don't have enough storage, what it will say, maybe the download will be failed. It's a simply there is a storage issue, you need to clear some space, like that. It is also not same like that. The kernel is going to talk or maybe execute with the hardware. It is nothing but how much amount of data, how much amount of storage or whatever it is, how much it is required, it is going to happening at that point of time. Okay. I'll show you the image too.
Oh, sorry, one question here.
Mm-hmm.
So, kernel is working as a virtual or hardware?
Just a second. Sorry, kernel is like a virtual or
Hardware.
kernel is a software only. It is the
Software
last
only.
level of operating system. It is going to talk to the hardware, your computer's hardware. You can see. Okay, this is your laptop. You just install the Kali Linux. That is nothing but you can able to see the application level. That means this only. This is the application level, or maybe terminal. All are in application level or user level. You can simply say. You can see applications here, right? This is the graphical user interface or maybe user interface, which is an application level. So you can able to access here, or maybe if you want, you can able to access some level that is called a shell level. Shell level is nothing but if you want to modify something, I told you you can able to customize the operating system. Okay, the Linux operating system you can able to customize. So at that point of time you can able to do some kind of settings. For suppose I've given ls command to listing the what is inside the directory. What we do usually, if you go to the directories inside Windows, simply if anything inside there, let's go to the new folder something 3. Simply I'm going to click here, right? Simply I'm going to click here like this. If I'm going to click here, it is going to open up. It will show what is inside there. That's it. But when it comes to the command line, it is going to work like that? No, right? Even though in PowerShell, like your Windows shell also, Windows operating system also, you can't able to use your mouse. When it comes to the command line, you have to give the commands to open it. The same thing what I did here, right? If I want to know what is inside, I give the ls. Ls is nothing but a listing. I already inside a particular directory, which is my user directory. So inside home, inside Kali, I'm there. It is nothing but inside C drive, inside Kali folder, I am there. So I've created a file. So inside that there are already some folders or maybe some files are there. I'm also created one other file, right? So these things are at a application level only. So maybe if something I want to modify these commands, instead of giving ls, if I say Sai, it is going to execute like ls. That is nothing but aliases or something. Okay, it is going to take it like ls or Sai both are equal, like that. Those kind of settings are maybe you can consider, or maybe if you want to like automate something, that is nothing but every day in your organization you have to open the your laptop, you have to connect to a specific server, you have to check one file. Okay, that file is nothing but every day at some point of time you need to create or maybe download data from the server. To do that manually, you can able to automate that with the help of a shell script. Okay, shell script. So that script is also having the commands only, but those commands in a proper way. That is nothing but first you need to execute one command, then execute another, then execute another. It is nothing but first you going to open that, connected to that server. After that you open a specific folder in that inside that server. After that you are going to download that specific data inside that folder or maybe inside the server, and it needs to be stored in specific file, or maybe it needs to be stored everyday state, a file with everyday state. So those kind of things, instead of you are doing manually, you can able to do automate. That is happen with the help of a shell or a shell script. So that is the second layer we can able to, a user can able to access. So when it comes to the kernel, we cannot access these kernels. Okay, we cannot means as a user we cannot access this, but if you have a exponential knowledge in like creating, maintaining the or building the operating systems, maybe you can go, but it's not a normal thing. Okay, so two levels are fine, we can go ahead. So whatever you are giving, so if I am giving ls in the application level, it is going to check in a shell is going to tell it to the kernel is going to check with the hardware where exactly this guy and what kind of files or folders are there. It is verify and get the data and pass it through shell, and it comes up in the application layer. It is the actual process what will happen. Kernel is the last layer of operating system. Okay, this is also, it's not actually, we can't say whether it is a physical or virtual, but on physically it is working with the hardware. It is nothing but it is going to check with the hardware. Okay, what exactly is there and what exactly user wants. It is nothing but taking the processes how exactly need to be run. Okay, while you are verifying, while you are downloading, while you are creating, while you are deleting, while you are configuring, whatever it is, everything is going to pass through like this only. This is a basic structure. Okay, and when it comes to, I'll show this where it is. Yeah, there are few layers are there, I told you. Like whenever you install, whenever you click on the button, it is going to start with a BIOS, basic input output executes. Okay, whenever you switch on your laptop or maybe switching on your special operating system, whether it is a kind of pause or resume button also. Okay, so what will happen, it is going to execute the first, it is going to touch the BIOS. Once you press on the power button, it is going to start with a basic input output, and it is going to pass to the master boot record executes grub. Okay, MBR is there. MBR is nothing but MBR is having the actual booting files of the Linux operating system. So that booting files is going to check with a grub, grand unified bootloader executes kernel. It is going to check with initiating the kernel or waking up the kernel. You can simply consider the grub is going to check with the kernel directly after that. Once it is initiated, kernel is going to once the kernel wake up, kernel is going to check the sbin init, like a secure bin, or maybe init means initial levels of the operating system. Okay, sbin and slash init also the part of this. Okay, part of what it is, I'll show you this operating system. You can see, okay, inside there only. So it is nothing but taken care of those, and it is where it is. Let me, yeah. So kernel is going to check the actual configuration data, so the server can be able to execute the operating system or not. The kernel is going to verify that. That is nothing but the CPU, the CPU, that means the processor, and the storage means the disk or drive, and the RAM. Okay, that means memory is going to are in alive state, going to execute the operating system or not. It is going to verify it. Once it is verified, the init level is going to execute the actual operating system. It is going to start the operating system, and once it is started, it is going to check everything. Run level programs are execute like etc cd something whatever. I have clicked that ls or whatever it is. Okay, it is come to the run level. So these all steps happening within a fraction of second. Okay, it is going to happen within a fraction of second. It is also the same kind of structure you can see here. So when we press the button, power button, these steps are happen inside the Linux operating system. You can see this, or maybe just a second, you can see this is also fine. Okay, once you switch on the power button, the BIOS load from non-violate memory run post or something. You can simply consider the operating system is going to first wake up. It is the binary format like 0110. Okay, you can see it is showing the processor or something, maybe a board or something. It is going to wake up. It is going to sending the power to in a 10, like 1 is yes, 0 is no. In that format, the BIOS is going to activate it. After that, it is going to detect. Okay, the BIOS is activated, it is going to detect the device. It is nothing but if there is no operating system inside your laptop, is it going to show anything? You purchased a new laptop, there is nothing inside there. You power on the button, what will happen? You don't know what will happen.
Who
It
installed the
asked the access name and everything.
Maybe it will ask something like it will show blank or something. You need an operating system to run this computer like that. That's it. It won't show anything mostly,
Mm.
right? Or a blank kind of image or something like that. Or maybe it will show one or two lines to you need a operating system to use this device or something like that. It will show. So it is nothing but once you press the button, first it is going to power on the entire device, and then it is going to detect the bootable device. That is nothing but is there any hard drive or pen drive at least are there? Okay, inside that the is there any existing operating system are there or not? Okay, as of humans we know we are using Windows or like Linux or something, but when it comes to the devices, they don't know what it is, right? Every time it is going to detect like this. So once you power on, it is going to check the operating system whether the bootable device is there or not, first of all. And then once it is there, it is going to load. Okay, the grub means the bootloader. It is going to load and execute system D first process in the user space or something like that. It is going to execute that. It is going to take it to the next level where it is. I've shown you like that. Okay, After the bootable device, it is going to bootloader, it is going to wake up the kernel is going to, once it is waked up, it is going to verify the all the operating systems, like inside the file hierarchy or whatever it is everything is going to be in a executable format or not, or maybe is anything corrupted or something like that, and everything is going to be checked with the operating system files and everything. After that, once everything looks fine, then only we can able to access the operating system like this. Got my point, by guys? Or is there any confusion? Okay, so this is the one, and then we stuck at here, boot. So after that, after the boot happened, everything is going to run, right? So those kind of boot related files is stored in slash boot. Okay, static files of the bootloader. Oh. Okay, bin means essential user command binaries. Okay, and media is already know, like videos, photos, kind of stuff. Slash mnt means, mnt is nothing but a mounting or kind of thing. Let's assume if you want to connect a external pen drive or external hard disk to your Linux operated system or a server, how it is going to verify it, or how it is going to check it. So external devices, external storage system, or whatever it is going to be connected to the slash mnt, temporary mounting file systems are going to be considered under the slash mount. It first executes under this slash mount directory. OPT we already covered. SBIN is nothing but a system binaries. Okay, system binaries. Okay, and SRV, data for service from system. This is also related to the system configuration files or something. And slash TMP, temporary files. Okay, like every time if something running, okay, let's assume if I go to my system, if I run anything, like if I run pwd or maybe ls or whatever it is, I'm giving some commands or whatever it is, because it is running, there is some junk or maybe something will be stored. Okay, or maybe some kind of unnecessary data will be created also there. So those things are going to be stored in a slash tmp, temporary folder. And slash usr having user utilities and applications. So user related data is going to, like user utilities, what are the user is going to do, so what kind of applications can be accessed by the user, those things will be stored in application. And proc is having process information, and some directories are missed here. Usually there is a slash var, var, slash var is there, that is the majority important one. Slash var is having the logs, whether system logs, server logs. Even though if you sent an email to the Linux based operating system, inside let's assume if I have a mailing server also there inside this, maybe I configure the Gmail or maybe another mail inside my Kali Linux also, it is going to be stored in the slash var directory only. So it is nothing but a distributed format. Okay, it is a distributed format for each and every process, for each and every task. It is going to be created and divided individual directories and folders. When it comes to needed, everything is going to be collab and work together. Okay, Linux have a distributed file system. Okay, that's why it is too fast. Okay, it is not clubbing everything inside a single directory like Windows. So for each and every task, each and every work, it is going to be divided into individual directories. Inside the directories also there are subdirectories there again. Okay, inside the directories also there are subdirectories there, but still we have to know exactly what is the exact file system. I'm not saying you have to uh, remember each and everything, but this is not that much hard once you understand it. Home refers to home data. Let's assume I already have a Kali Linux. Sorry, I already have a user which is Kali. While I'm installing or configuring, give the Kali. If I want to create a new user, again the user is going to store it in a slash home only. Okay, if I create a new user, okay, if I create a new user, if I'm going to verify, like the same thing, if I'm going to create a new user or maybe something like that, if I switch like a Sai or something, instead of Kali, it is going to show slash home slash Sai. That is nothing but whenever you are going to create a new user, it is going to store in slash home. That is already defined here. Slash home is a home directory of the users. Okay. The same way, mount is used for the temporary connectivities of the other storages which is not inserted or which is not the default configuration of the operating system. So you don't need to worry about all these things, and the configuration files also there in /etc. Okay, so this is the file structure of the Linux operating system. There are some other file systems or maybe folder structures or maybe something we missed it, but it's not a big thing. We can easily get it. You can see. I'll show you here. Open. You can see slash. Let's go ahead. You can see slash var is here. Slash root also here. Home directory for the root user. I told you slash is the home directory, but slash root is having the home, like root related, the root users related information is stored in the slash root. Okay, and this actual root directory which we called, okay, not this root, the slash is also called as a root directory. Root is nothing but admin directory, which is the mother of all directories. Okay, which is the mother of all directories. I'll show you an example here. So while I'm giving ls or maybe ls-lrt, you can able to see videos, public something or something like that. You're not able to see slash var slash met slash kind of thing. Why? Because you are already in slash home directory. You are inside a specific directory. You are not in a root directory. You can see the symbol. It is representing you are not in root. But if you want to switch as a root, if I give double slash, okay, if I give pwd, again you are in slash home. If I give again, you can see it comes to the slash. That means actual root. If I give pwd, you can see slash. You get it? CD is nothing but a changing directory. In Windows, if you want to open a folder or something, simply you click like this, right? You click like this. Okay, if it is nothing but inside data d direct folder, inside a my data or something, inside the my data courses are there. You can see the path. Inside the courses there is something. If you want to come back, you don't need to I mean, you don't need to run any command or something. You can simply like this, right? You can come back. This is the way. This is a graphical user interface. But when it comes to the command line interface, you need to give the commands. So I'm already in slash root slash home slash Kali. So I want to come back. So the folders are called as a directory. That is nothing but CD is considered changing the directory. Okay. If I'm going to give CD, sorry. If I'm going to give CD slash home here, it is nothing but I'm going to the home. If I'm not giving anything, okay, if I'm not giving anything, okay, if I'd like to give CD space double dot, that means I need to go to back, okay, go back to the previous directories. Hit enter. It is going back from Kali to home. If I give pwd, present working directory, pwd stands for present working directory. So I came to home. Again, I am going to the actual mother directory. I want to go back one step. You can see it is showing root. So the pwd, present working directory, is the root directory. So now I am here only, this one only. previously I'm in this home directory. Inside the home directory, Kali user is already there because I've logged in as a Kali user. So by default, it will be open to the /Kali, the users directory. So if I create a new user also, it is going to store it in a home. Again, if I want to switch to that directory also, I can able to switch like that. Like cd space /sai, automatically it create a new directory for a new user. Whenever a user is going to be created, it is going to be create a new directory inside the home directory. It is nothing but a folder. It is going to track everything in a directory format. Directory is nothing but a folder. Okay. Tomorrow what I do, I'm going to create a individual specific document which is having what I've explained you in this class and what I'm going to explain you in upcoming classes. I'm going to create an individual document. I'm going to update there. You can easily get it what it is in a step-by-step format. But as of now, have you understand what is Linux operating system? What is the file structure of the operating system? And what is the difference between Windows and the Linux operating system?
No.
No, you couldn't understand?
Oh, yeah, I have understood. Yeah. Sorry.
I do.
Okay. It's okay if you couldn't understand. Also told me, buddy. It's not a big deal. I'll explain. It's not a big deal.
Matlab, I've joined today, so I don't know what to say.
It's okay. I'll explain it again tomorrow. I just giving a brief today, like what is Linux and what is the difference between. It is nothing but a multi-user, multitasking operating system, and also far more faster and secure than the other operating systems. So we have seen the basics of what it is and how it works. And tomorrow we are going to what exactly we do with the Linux, what kind of commands we use, like in a regular daily basis. Like if you want to create a file or folder, usually in Windows, what we do, we just going to use our mouse and create, like maybe click each and everything with the help of mouse we can do, until unless we have to write, maybe giving the names or something. But when it comes to the command line, everything should be a command only. Creating, deleting, switching into there, and we have to watch anything also. Again, we have to give the command only. So everything is a command based. So we'll go through that on tomorrow.